Welcome, wisdom seekers. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt the weight of invisible chains? Not the kind that hold you down physically, but those that shackle your mind, enslave your thoughts, and dictate your actions? Chains forged from fear, regret, distraction, and the chaos of a world constantly demanding your attention. Today, we're going to break those chains. We'll journey into the essence of Stoicism, a timeless philosophy that doesn't promise you fame, fortune, or fleeting happiness, but instead offers something far more valuable: freedom. Not the kind of freedom found in possessions or circumstances, but freedom from the tyranny of your own mind. The Stoics believed that the path to liberation is not about controlling the world around you, but mastering the world within. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And if you're here today, it's because deep down, you yearn for that mastery. Together, we'll uncover 10 transformative habits, each one a key to unlocking the boundless potential of your mind. These aren't fleeting tips or tricks, but foundational principles, deeply rooted in philosophy, that will change the way you see yourself and the world. Wisdom seekers, your support means everything. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Every like, subscribe helps us continue our mission of sharing knowledge. Ready to unlock more wisdom? So, take a deep breath. Set aside the noise of the outside world, and let's begin. Habit 1. Master the art of stillness. Stillness is not merely the absence of motion. It is the deliberate cultivation of inner peace, an act that requires discipline, courage, and awareness. To be still is to stand apart from the chaos of the world, to reclaim your mind from the endless demands placed upon it. In our modern age, this act of stillness has become almost revolutionary. We live in a culture where busyness is celebrated, where productivity is mistaken for purpose, and where distraction is sold as entertainment. The result is a fragmented mind, pulled in 1,000 directions, unable to find clarity or focus. The Stoics understood this dilemma centuries ago, recognizing that true freedom begins not in the external world, but within the stillness of the soul. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, warned of the dangers of a restless mind, writing, "You must lay aside the burdens of the mind. Until you do this, no place will satisfy you. Reflect instead on what is best for the soul." To the Stoics, stillness was not an indulgence or a luxury, but a necessity. Without it, the mind becomes a prisoner of external circumstances, forever reacting to events rather than mastering them. Stillness allows us to take control, to observe our thoughts and feelings without being enslaved by them. The path to cultivating stillness begins with a simple, yet profound question. How often do you pause? Not the kind of pause where you scroll through your phone or distract yourself with trivialities, but a real pause. A moment of silence where you sit alone with your thoughts. For many, such a moment feels uncomfortable, even threatening. The mind resists stillness because it fears what it might find in the quiet. We avoid it by filling our lives with noise and activity. Yet it is in these moments of quiet that the greatest transformations occur. To master the art of stillness, you must first overcome the fear of being alone with yourself. Start by dedicating a small portion of your day to this practice. It might be 5 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes before bed. Find a space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let the noise of the world fade away and allow your thoughts to settle. At first, your mind will rebel. It will wander, jumping from one worry to the next. But with practice, you will learn to observe these thoughts without judgment, letting them pass like clouds in the sky. The second step is to extend this stillness into your daily life. This doesn't mean withdrawing from the world, but learning to carry a sense of inner calm with you, even in the midst of chaos. When faced with a stressful situation, pause before reacting. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this something I can control? If not, let it go. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Stillness is not just a practice. It is a way of being. It is the foundation upon which all other habits are built. Without it, the mind remains a slave to distractions and impulses. But with it, you gain the clarity and focus needed to navigate life with wisdom and purpose. When you embrace stillness, you create a space for reflection, for self-discovery, and for growth. You learn to listen to the quiet voice within, the voice that guides you toward your highest self. And in that quiet, you find freedom, not from the world, but from the chaos within your own mind. Habit 2. Cultivate the discipline of perception. If stillness is the foundation of mental freedom, perception is the lens through which we interpret the world. How we perceive events, people, and challenges shapes our reality. Two individuals can face the same situation. One sees it as a disaster, the other as an opportunity. The difference lies not in the event itself, but in their perception of it. The Stoics believed that mastering your perception is essential to mastering your life. Epictetus, a former slave who rose to become one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." This simple yet profound statement reveals a powerful truth. Nothing has the power to upset or disturb you unless you allow it. The events of life are neutral. It is your interpretation that gives them meaning. This realization is the key to freedom because it places control firmly in your hands. To cultivate the discipline of perception, you must begin by challenging the stories you tell yourself. When something goes wrong, do you immediately assume the worst? Do you see setbacks as personal failures or as opportunities to learn and grow? Pay attention to the language you use, both in your thoughts and in your words. The Stoics taught that we have the power to reframe any situation, to see it through a lens of reason rather than emotion. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius. As emperor of Rome, he faced countless challenges, wars, plagues, betrayal. Yet in his meditations he wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This is not a call to deny reality, but to approach it with clarity and composure. When you stop reacting impulsively to events and instead pause to examine them, you gain the ability to respond wisely. One of the most powerful exercises for refining your perception is the practice of seeing things as they are. When faced with a problem, strip away the emotions and judgments that cloud your view. For example, if someone insults you, your initial reaction might be anger or hurt. But if you step back and analyze the situation objectively, you'll see that their words are just sounds in the air, meaningless unless you assign meaning to them. This detachment allows you to respond with calm and dignity, rather than being dragged into unnecessary conflict. Another important aspect of perception is understanding what is within your control and what is not. The Stoics emphasized this distinction, urging us to focus only on what we can influence. When you waste energy worrying about things beyond your control, you surrender your peace of mind. Instead, direct your attention to your own thoughts, actions, and attitudes. This is where your true power lies. Cultivating the discipline of perception also means being mindful of the influences you allow into your life. In today's world, we are bombarded with information, much of it negative or manipulative. The Stoics would advise you to guard your mind as carefully as you would your home. Choose what you consume, whether it's news, social media, or the opinions of others. Surround yourself with voices that inspire and uplift you, and be vigilant against those that distort your perception of reality. Finally, remember that perception is not static. It is a skill that can be developed with practice. Each time you face a challenge, see it as an opportunity to refine your perspective. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? By shifting your focus from the problem to the solution, you empower yourself to take control of your life. When you master the discipline of perception, you free yourself from the tyranny of external events. You become the architect of your own reality, capable of finding meaning and purpose, even in the most difficult circumstances. And in doing so, you unlock the true potential of your mind, transforming challenges into stepping stones on the path to wisdom and freedom. Habit 3. Embrace the power of voluntary discomfort. To free your mind, you must first free yourself from the illusion of perpetual comfort. Comfort, while alluring, is a double-edged sword. It provides a temporary sense of ease, yet it weakens the mind and dulls the spirit. The Stoics understood that true strength comes not from indulging in comfort, but from willingly exposing oneself to discomfort. By doing so, you cultivate resilience, discipline, and an unshakable inner peace. Seneca, in his writings, frequently advocated for the practice of voluntary discomfort. He suggested that one should periodically experience what it's like to live with less, not out of necessity, but as a means to remind oneself of how little is truly needed for happiness. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?' Through such exercises, one develops the understanding that fear of discomfort is often greater than discomfort itself. To embrace this habit, start small. Choose moments where you deliberately step out of your comfort zone. It might be as simple as taking a cold shower, forgoing a luxury you usually enjoy, or practicing fasting for a short period. These acts are not about deprivation, but about teaching yourself that you are stronger than your cravings and more adaptable than you think." Voluntary discomfort has a transformative effect on the mind. When you willingly endure challenges, you build a kind of mental armor. You learn to face adversity with composure because you've trained yourself not to crumble in its presence. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you push against resistance, the more powerful you become. This is not a denial of pleasure, but a rejection of dependency on it. When you can thrive without luxuries, you gain a profound sense of freedom. In our modern world, comfort is abundant, but so too are anxiety and dissatisfaction. Why is this? It's because comfort, when pursued obsessively, leads to stagnation. The Stoics knew that a life devoid of challenge is a life devoid of growth. Epictetus said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." By choosing discomfort, you test your limits and reveal your true capabilities. This habit also prepares you for the inevitable hardships of life. No one escapes suffering entirely, but by voluntarily exposing yourself to discomfort, you become less afraid of it. You learn to face difficulties not as a victim, but as a warrior, armed with the knowledge that you have already endured and overcome similar trials. It is not suffering itself that makes us weak, but the fear of it. Voluntary discomfort eradicates this fear. Imagine waking up each day knowing that no loss, no deprivation, and no discomfort can shake you. This is the power of this habit. It is a practice of freedom, reminding you that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by your response to them. Habit 4. Strengthen your willpower through deliberate action. Willpower is the master key to freedom. It is the force that enables you to act in alignment with your values, resist temptations, and pursue your goals with unwavering focus. Without it, even the best intentions falter, and the mind becomes a prisoner of fleeting desires and external pressures. The Stoics understood the immense power of willpower, seeing it as the driving force behind all virtuous action. Marcus Aurelius captured this sentiment beautifully when he wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Such discipline requires a strong will, the ability to resist what is easy or pleasurable in favor of what is right. Willpower, however, is not an innate trait but a skill that can be cultivated through deliberate practice. To strengthen your willpower, begin by setting small, specific goals that challenge you but are achievable. Success in small tasks builds confidence and creates a foundation for tackling larger challenges. For instance, commit to waking up at a consistent time every day, even when you don't feel like it. Over time, this simple act of discipline will ripple into other areas of your life. Another key to building willpower is resisting immediate gratification. The Stoics were masters of delayed gratification, understanding that true fulfillment often comes from enduring effort and sacrifice. Epictetus advised, "No great thing is created suddenly." By learning to endure short-term discomfort, you gain the ability to pursue long-term rewards. This might mean saving money instead of spending it impulsively, choosing a healthy meal over a convenient one, or dedicating time to study instead of seeking entertainment. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of aligning your actions with your values. When your willpower is fueled by a sense of purpose, it becomes infinitely stronger. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? What kind of person do I want to be? Use these answers as your compass, guiding your actions even when the path is difficult. Strengthening willpower also involves understanding and managing your triggers. Recognize the situations or emotions that lead you to act against your better judgment. For instance, if stress drives you to overeat or procrastinate, Develop healthier ways to cope with it, such as exercise, journaling, or mindfulness. The Stoics were deeply introspective, regularly reflecting on their own behavior to identify areas for improvement. Seneca wrote, "We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" Such self-examination is a powerful tool for reinforcing willpower. Finally, remember that willpower, like a muscle, can be exhausted if overused. Avoid spreading yourself too thin or trying to tackle too many goals at once. Focus on the areas that matter most and give yourself permission to rest and recharge when needed. The Stoics were not advocates of relentless toil, but of balance and moderation. The rewards of this habit are immense. With strong willpower, you gain the ability to steer your life in the direction of your choosing. You become less reactive, less swayed by whims or external pressures. You develop the resilience to face challenges with grace and the determination to pursue your dreams relentlessly. Imagine the strength of a mind that cannot be deterred by temptation, distraction, or fear. This is the power of willpower, and it is within your reach. By cultivating this habit, you unlock a deeper level of freedom, the freedom to live according to your highest values and aspirations. Habit 5. Detach yourself from external validation. One of the greatest prisons the mind can inhabit is the relentless pursuit of external validation. To be free, you must untangle yourself from the need for approval, recognition, and praise. This is not a rejection of relationships or community, but a realization that your worth cannot and should not be defined by others. The Stoics understood this deeply, warning against the dangers of letting others' opinions dictate your actions. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on this universal human tendency, wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This paradox is the source of much of our unhappiness. When you live for the approval of others, you hand over the reins of your life. You let their judgments, expectations, and whims shape your reality. True freedom comes when you reclaim those reins, valuing your internal compass over the external applause. The pursuit of external validation often starts innocently. As social beings, we are wired to seek connection and affirmation. However, in excess, this natural tendency becomes a trap. It leads to a life driven by the fear of rejection and the desire to fit in. This fear can manifest in countless ways: saying yes when you want to say no, hiding your true self to avoid judgment, or chasing achievements solely for recognition. To break free, you must first recognize the futility of trying to please everyone. No matter how hard you try, someone will always disagree, disapprove, or misunderstand you. Epictetus likened this to trying to control the wind. It is impossible and exhausting. Instead, focus on what you can control: your character, your values, and your actions. The Stoics encouraged self-reliance, not in a sense of isolation, but as a way to ground your sense of worth internally. Reflect on your motivations. Are you pursuing a goal because it aligns with your principles, or because you hope it will impress others? Are you living according to your own values, or bending to meet the expectations of society? By regularly asking these questions, you develop a clearer sense of self. Practicing detachment from validation does not mean becoming indifferent to others. It means caring deeply but not being consumed by their opinions. You can listen to feedback without letting it define you. You can value relationships without needing constant approval. Seneca offers this wisdom: the greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. The approval you seek is already within you, waiting to be claimed. One practical exercise to detach from external validation is to do something solely for yourself. Create, work, or act without telling anyone or seeking recognition. It might be as simple as journaling your thoughts, planting a garden, or pursuing a hobby. The point is to reconnect with the intrinsic joy of action, free from external validation. Over time, this practice builds confidence in your internal motivations and reduces your dependency on external feedback. When you release yourself from the need for validation, you discover a profound sense of freedom. You are no longer a puppet to others' expectations, but the author of your own life. Your actions become more authentic, and your relationships more genuine. You no longer seek to impress, but to connect, no longer strive to be admired, but to be true. Imagine the peace of knowing that your worth is not up for debate. This is the gift of detaching from external validation, a mind unburdened by others' opinions, free to live fully and authentically. Habit 6. Practice the art of letting go. Letting go is one of the hardest and most liberating habits to cultivate. We cling to so much in life: past mistakes, future anxieties, possessions, relationships, and even our identity. This attachment weighs on the mind, creating a constant undercurrent of fear, frustration, and resistance. To free your mind, you must learn to release what no longer serves you. The Stoics understood that clinging to what is transient leads to suffering. Their philosophy is a guide to embracing impermanence and finding peace in the flow of life. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well." This is not a call to passivity, but a reminder to accept what is beyond your control. Letting go begins with recognizing that life is in constant flux. People change, circumstances shift, and plans unravel. Clinging to a fixed idea of how things should be is a recipe for disappointment. One of the most common forms of attachment is to the past. We replay mistakes, regret missed opportunities, and hold grudges against those who wronged us. But the past is unchangeable, no matter how much we dwell on it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Instead of lamenting what went wrong, ask yourself how you can learn from it. Letting go of the past is not forgetting it, but reframing it as a source of growth. The same principle applies to the future. Many of us are consumed by worries about what might happen. We try to control every outcome, fearing uncertainty. But the future is unknowable. The Stoics teach us to focus on the present, the only moment we truly possess. When you let go of the need to control the future, you free yourself from anxiety. Letting go also extends to material possessions. We often tie our sense of identity to what we own, believing that success, happiness, or security lies in acquiring more. Seneca challenged this notion, stating, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By practicing detachment from possessions, you free your mind from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. This doesn't mean rejecting all material goods, but recognizing that they are tools, not sources of meaning or worth. Relationships, too, require the art of letting go. This doesn't mean abandoning those you love, but releasing the need to control them. Each person is on their own journey, and clinging too tightly can stifle growth and breed resentment. By letting go, you allow others the freedom to be themselves, and you create space for deeper, more authentic connections. A powerful exercise for practicing this habit is to regularly reflect on impermanence. The Stoics often contemplated mortality, not as a morbid fixation, but as a way to appreciate life's fleeting nature. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." By acknowledging that everything is temporary, you learn to cherish the present and release your grip on what cannot last. The art of letting go is not about giving up, but about opening up. It is a recognition that life is not something to be controlled, but something to be experienced. When you let go, you free your mind from the chains of attachment and step into a life of greater peace, presence, and purpose. Imagine living without the weight of past regrets, the fear of future uncertainty, or the need to hold on to what is fleeting. This is the freedom that comes from letting go. A mind unencumbered, open to the beauty of the present moment, and ready to embrace life as it unfolds. Habit 7. Harness the strength of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most transformative habits you can cultivate, a force that reshapes your perspective and unlocks a deeper sense of freedom. When you live in gratitude, you free your mind from the traps of entitlement, envy, and dissatisfaction. The Stoics held gratitude as a central pillar of their philosophy, recognizing that a grateful mind is a powerful, unshakable one. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." Gratitude, he believed, was not merely a response to good fortune, but a deliberate practice, a way of training the mind to see abundance rather than lack. To be grateful is to acknowledge that life itself is a gift, that even its challenges contain lessons worth cherishing. In our modern world, the practice of gratitude often gets overshadowed by the constant striving for more success, more possessions, more recognition. This endless pursuit creates a cycle of dissatisfaction, as each achievement or acquisition quickly loses its luster. Gratitude disrupts this cycle by shifting your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It reminds you that fulfillment is not found in chasing the next thing, but in appreciating the present moment. To cultivate gratitude, begin with the simplest of acts. Pause and reflect. Each day, take a few moments to list the things you are thankful for. They don't need to be grand or extraordinary. Sometimes the smallest blessings carry the most weight. Perhaps it's the warmth of the sun on your face, the laughter of a loved one, or the comfort of a meal. These moments, often overlooked, are the threads that weave a life of contentment. The Stoics took this practice a step further by finding gratitude even in adversity. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on the challenges of his life, wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." He believed that gratitude should extend not only to the joys of life, but also to its trials, for these are what shape us into stronger, wiser individuals. Consider this: every difficulty you face carries within it an opportunity for growth. A setback teaches resilience, a loss fosters appreciation, and a failure reveals areas for improvement. When you train your mind to see these lessons, you transform obstacles into stepping stones. This is the essence of Stoic gratitude. Not a denial of hardship, but a recognition of its value. Gratitude also fosters humility. It reminds you that much of what you enjoy is not solely the result of your efforts, but the culmination of countless contributions from others. From the food on your table to the knowledge you possess, your life is interwoven with the generosity and labor of others. Acknowledging this interconnectedness deepens your appreciation and strengthens your sense of community. One powerful exercise in gratitude is to reflect on impermanence. The Stoics often reminded themselves that nothing in life is guaranteed. Not tomorrow, not even the next breath. Seneca urged, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." By contemplating the fragility of existence, you learn to treasure what you have in the here and now. Gratitude is not just a feeling, but a way of life. It is a practice that shapes your thoughts, actions, and relationships. When you approach the world with gratitude, you radiate a sense of abundance that inspires and uplifts those around you. You become a source of light in a world often clouded by negativity. Imagine a mind that sees beauty in the ordinary, that finds value in every experience, and that greets each day with a sense of wonder. This is the freedom that gratitude brings, a freedom rooted in the recognition that life itself is enough. Habit 8. Embrace the discipline of purpose. Purpose is the North Star of a free mind. Without it, you drift aimlessly, pulled by the tides of circumstance and the whims of others. With it, you gain direction, focus, and resilience. The Stoics understood the power of purpose, seeing it as the foundation of a life well lived. To live with purpose is to align your actions with your values, to pursue what truly matters with unwavering commitment. Epictetus taught, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This simple yet profound advice underscores the importance of clarity. Before you can live with purpose, you must define it. What do you value most? What kind of person do you want to be? What legacy do you wish to leave behind? These are not questions to answer lightly. They require deep reflection, honesty, and courage. Purpose is not the same as ambition. Ambition often focuses on external achievements, wealth, status, fame, while purpose is rooted in internal fulfillment. It is about contributing to something larger than yourself, whether it's your family, your community, or a cause you care deeply about. The Stoics believed that living with purpose brings a sense of meaning that transcends the fleeting highs of external success. To cultivate the discipline of purpose, start by identifying your core values. These are the principles that guide your decisions and shape your character. They might include integrity, compassion, courage, or wisdom. Once you've defined your values, use them as a filter for your actions. Ask yourself, does this choice align with my purpose? Does it move me closer to the person I want to become? Living with purpose also requires embracing discipline. Purpose is not a passive state, but an active pursuit. It demands effort, sacrifice, and perseverance. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on his own struggles, wrote, "At dawn, When you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. For the Stoics, purpose was not a grand, distant goal, but a daily commitment to act with virtue and intention. One way to strengthen this habit is through visualization. Each morning, take a few moments to envision the person you want to be and the impact you want to have. Imagine yourself acting with courage, patience, and kindness throughout the day. This practice helps to anchor your actions in purpose, keeping you focused even in the face of distractions or setbacks. Purpose also requires resilience. There will be times when the path is difficult, when doubts creep in and progress feels slow. In these moments, remember that purpose is not about perfection, but persistence. Seneca advised, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Trust in your ability to overcome challenges and stay true to your path. Finally, recognize that purpose evolves. What drives you today may not be what drives you in the future, and that's okay. The key is to remain open to growth and change, to continually refine your purpose as you gain new insights and experiences. Living with purpose frees your mind from the chaos of aimlessness. It gives you a sense of control, even in uncertain times, because you know what you stand for and where you are headed. It fills your life with meaning, turning even the mundane into something significant. Imagine waking up each day with a clear sense of direction, knowing that your actions are aligned with your deepest values. This is the power of purpose, a discipline that transforms your life into a journey of fulfillment and freedom. Habit 9. Cultivate inner stillness. Inner stillness is the ultimate refuge for a mind seeking freedom. In a world brimming with distractions, noise, and relentless activity, the ability to quiet your thoughts and find peace within is a superpower. The Stoics valued stillness not as idleness, but as an active state of clarity and focus, a condition where the mind operates at its highest potential, unclouded by chaos. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of stillness, writing, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This sentiment captures the essence of this habit, the understanding that tranquility does not depend on external circumstances, but on the mastery of your inner world. Stillness begins with awareness. Many of us live in a state of constant motion, jumping from task to task, thought to thought, without pausing to reflect. This unexamined busyness creates mental clutter, leaving little room for clarity or creativity. To cultivate stillness, you must first learn to slow down and observe your mind. What thoughts occupy your attention? Are they serving you, or are they mere noise? One of the most effective tools for achieving inner stillness is meditation. While the Stoics didn't meditate in the way it is practiced today, they engaged in daily introspection, which served a similar purpose. Marcus Aurelius, in his journal, would write to himself as a way to reflect on his actions, align with his values, and clear his mind. Consider adopting a similar practice. Spend a few minutes each day in quiet contemplation, focusing on your breath or journaling your thoughts. This simple habit can create a profound sense of calm. Another aspect of stillness is learning to detach from the constant stream of information and distractions that dominate modern life. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what truly matters. Epictetus advised, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. This is not about ignorance, but about prioritizing depth over breadth. By letting go of the need to know or do everything, you free your mind to concentrate on what is essential. Stillness also involves mastering your emotional responses. The Stoics taught that emotions, while natural, should not control us. Seneca explained, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." By practicing mindfulness and self-discipline, you can respond to challenges with composure rather than reactivity. This emotional equilibrium is a cornerstone of inner stillness. Cultivating stillness doesn't mean withdrawing from life. On the contrary, it equips you to engage with the world more effectively. When your mind is still, you can think more clearly, make better decisions, and approach challenges with confidence. You become like a calm lake, reflecting the world accurately rather than distorting it with agitation. Imagine a mind that remains calm amidst chaos, a mind that can pause, reflect, and act with intention rather than impulsiveness. This is the gift of stillness, a habit that frees you from the tyranny of distraction and connects you to a deeper sense of purpose and presence. Habit 10. Align yourself with nature. The final habit is perhaps the most profound, aligning yourself with nature. The Stoics believed that freedom comes from living in harmony with the natural order of the universe, understanding your place within it, and accepting life as it unfolds. This alignment is not about retreating to the wilderness, but about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things and embracing a life of virtue, simplicity, and acceptance. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of living in accordance with nature. He wrote, "Everything harmonizes with me, which is harmonious to thee, O universe. Nothing for me is too early or too late, which is in due time for thee. Everything is fruit to me which thy seasons bring, O nature." This perspective reveals a profound trust in the flow of life, a willingness to surrender control over what cannot be changed. Living in alignment with nature begins with understanding yourself. You are part of the natural world, governed by the same laws as the stars, the seasons, and the tides. Accepting this reality means acknowledging your limits and focusing on what is within your power to influence. Epictetus emphasized this in his teaching of the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, and some are not. Aligning with nature means concentrating your energy on the former and letting go of the latter. Another key aspect of this habit is simplicity. Nature thrives in simplicity, and so can you. The pursuit of excess, whether in possessions, power, or pleasure, leads to imbalance and dissatisfaction. Seneca advised, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By simplifying your life, you free your mind from the clutter of unnecessary desires, allowing space for what truly matters. Aligning with nature also means embracing change. The universe is in a constant state of flux, and so are you. Resisting change creates suffering, while accepting it brings peace. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Observe how all things are continually being born of change. Teach yourself to see that nature loves nothing so much as to change the things that are, and to make new things like them." This perspective invites you to view change not as a loss, but as a natural and necessary part of life's rhythm. Gratitude and humility play a significant role in this habit. Recognize the abundance that nature provides: air, water, sunlight, food, and approach life with a sense of wonder and appreciation. At the same time, understand your place within the larger whole. You are a small yet essential part of the vast web of existence. This awareness fosters a sense of responsibility to live virtuously and contribute positively to the world around you. One practical way to align with nature is to spend time in it. Walk in the woods, sit by a river, or gaze at the stars. These moments of connection remind you of the beauty, order, and resilience of the natural world. They help you cultivate a sense of calm and perspective, grounding you in something larger than yourself. Aligning with nature also involves living in accordance with your true self. The Stoics believe that each person has a unique role to play in the universe, a purpose that is revealed through introspection and action. By discovering and fulfilling this purpose, you align with the natural order and experience a profound sense of freedom. Imagine a life where you feel deeply connected to the world around you, where you embrace change with grace and live with a sense of purpose and simplicity. This is the freedom that comes from aligning yourself with nature, a freedom rooted in understanding, acceptance, and harmony. Final thoughts. The path to a free mind. As we draw this journey to a close, let us reflect on the transformative power of these habits. Each one is a thread in the tapestry of a free mind, woven with purpose, resilience, and wisdom. Together they guide you toward a life unburdened by the chains of fear, attachment, and external control. Freedom of the mind is not something granted by circumstance or fortune. It is cultivated through discipline, reflection, and the deliberate practice of principles that align with the deeper truths of existence. The Stoics understood this profoundly. They believed that true freedom is not found in wealth, power, or status, but in mastering oneself. Epictetus reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery is not about domination, but liberation. Liberation from the impulses, desires, and distractions that cloud your judgment and enslave your spirit. When you integrate these habits into your daily life, you take the first steps toward this mastery. The journey is not without challenges. To free your mind requires courage, the courage to face your fears, question your assumptions, and let go of what no longer serves you. It requires patience, as growth is not instantaneous but the result of consistent effort. And it requires humility, for freedom is not about control over the world, but alignment with its natural flow. As you walk this path, remember that freedom is not a destination, but a way of being. It is a state of mind cultivated in each moment, through each choice you make. It is found in the quiet strength of accepting what you cannot change, the clarity of focusing on what truly matters, and the serenity of living in harmony with yourself and the world. Marcus Aurelius offers us a final piece of wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The power to free your mind has always been within you. It is not something you must seek, but something you must uncover, like a light hidden beneath layers of doubt and distraction. To my wisdom seekers, I leave you with this challenge. Take what you have learned here and put it into practice. Let these habits guide you, inspire you, and transform you. Begin with one small step, whether it's pausing to reflect, practicing gratitude, or letting go of a grudge. Each step brings you closer to the freedom you seek. The path is yours to walk, and the rewards are beyond measure. A free mind is not just a gift to yourself, but to the world. For when you live with clarity, purpose, and peace, you inspire others to do the same. This is the ripple effect of wisdom, a light that spreads, illuminating the lives it touches. So go forth, embrace these habits, and live the life of freedom that is your birthright. The world needs your strength, your insight, and your unwavering commitment to living with wisdom and virtue. The journey begins now, and the best is yet to come.